Hello everybody, welcome to Brad's Record Reviews, where today we're going to be looking at the brand new studio album by the British metalcore stars themselves, Bury Tomorrow. Now, Bury Tomorrow is coming out of Southampton, England, and for our lineup we have Daniel Winterbates on lead vocals, rhythm guitarist and singer James Cameron, David Winterbates on bass, Adam Jackson on drums, and Christian Dawson on the lead guitar. Now, last time we heard from Bury Tomorrow was in 2018 with their album Black Flame, and now in 2020 we're getting their 6th studio album. So without further ado, let's get in to Cannibal by Bury Tomorrow. Now, as always, we have to start with the cover art. Now, this cover art, I really like it. For this cover art, we have this skull with the red hand, with this like galaxy behind it, and this nice painting style. It looks really edgy, but it sets the tone. I think it's painted really well. I like the concept. I like the composition. It's pretty good. 8.5. So for this album, we aren't really getting anything that's new or exciting from the band or even just for metalcore itself. Essentially, for most of what's here is really just pretty standard run-of-the-mill metalcore, and it's pretty, well, mediocre. However, I think that Danny is the one here that is able to kind of take what they have and lift it slightly out of its mediocrity. Throughout the entire record, with Danny's verses and his writing, he's able to give a pretty good vocal performance on pretty much every song here. I liked all of his verses. He's able to give good vocal performances that are believable. They sound passionate. He's able to just rip through the songs with his gutturals. He's able to give us a really great performance, like on songs The Agonist, which is probably the best cut on here. He's just absolutely ripping through the track. He has such a feral performance on this song that seems to be talking about some kind of revolution or something like that, or on the song Quake, which has a more mid-tempo track that allows him to really kind of open up and deliver more power through his voice in all of the verses. However, as good as Danny is on all of his verses, Jason, for me, continues to just be the dead weight on this record. Sounds good, but that's kind of just the problem here. He's just singing. He's just singing, and he's delivering all of his lines that he has for his choruses so plainly, and everything just falls so flat. He's just singing the lines. He's not feeling the lines. And for all the choruses that he does, all the writing here is very underwritten and underwhelming, and sometimes just cringy. Speaking of the actual music, nothing here is, again, really bad. Sonically, the entire record just sounds like metalcore. It just sounds like metalcore. That's really all I can say. However, they do a good job of adding a little bit more texture. They have some good lead melodies with their riffs, and they're able to texture it and switch it up a little bit. So they're able to keep it a little bit fresh, but for the most part, it all just kind of sounds like a standard metalcore record. The writing for this thing isn't terrible, minus the choruses that I was talking about before. Danny's verses are, for the most part, written pretty well. They're pretty decent. There's nothing here that's really blowing me away. However, the lyrical themes overall throughout the entire record are what's really just kind of killing it for me. For the most part of this album, we just have these kind of generic songs about being in the darkness, and I need to find the light, and I'm weak, and blah blah blah. Just on the song Cold Sleep, which is probably the most cringy one here, just talking just vaguely about being in the light and the darkness and being strong enough or whatever, stuff like that. Something I would find you on like an old Breaking Benjamin record like Phobia. There's some songs here that have a better theme than others, like on Gods and Machines, which I think he was just talking about not fearing God and push away God and push back against the machines, whatever the machines are. I don't know if that means our phones or like social media, or if they're talking about like the political institutions. I mean, also the song Cannibal, which is probably another one of the highlights for me here. I'm not exactly sure what this song is supposed to be about, but I interpret the lyrics as being more kind of about today's cancel culture and how he's not going to apologize for being who he is, and that they're cannibals, like coming after people to like destroy you, but he's gonna stand up against them or whatever. So I like that one. But overall, we got a pretty okay record. I think the performances from Danny and some of the nice layering in the instrumentals really push it just a little bit above just that mediocre line. So Cannibal by Barry Tomorrow, getting a 6 from me. I hope that Barry Tomorrow can experiment a little bit more in the future. They are a good band. They have good elements. And I hope that Jason can maybe push a little bit more work and try and deliver some more believable choruses in the future. But anyways, did you guys listen to this record? What did you think of it? Let me know. And tell me what I should review next. I'll see you on the next record review.